It's great to see you again.
You too,
Um,
you too.
yeah, things are getting exciting here in New Ross. We have the festival starting tomorrow in Ballykelly Church, which is just about a 5-10 minute drive outside of New Ross. Lovely setting. It's a beautiful church, especially for a classical guitar recital, which is what we're starting off with. We have Ireland's leading classical guitarist down, John Feely, my former teacher. And yeah, very excited to have him down and hear him play. I'm going to open the concert for him. I'm going to play a piece and we're going to do a duet together as well, a beautiful Italian duet. Very
Lovely.
quintessential classical guitar kind of music. And yeah, John's got a nice eclectic kind of program. He's playing some very virtuosic, standard classical kind of guitar repertoire, but he's also playing some of his own Irish music like Turlough Carlin that he arranged for guitar, and some beautiful Spanish music as well. So I think the audience are going to be in for a real treat. And
Yeah,
the acoustics in the church are absolutely beautiful. It's a lovely, intimate church, so it's just perfect for classical guitar, Spanish
I
guitar.
can't wait. I can't wait. But before we go into what's the lineup is for the festival, how did you come up with the idea, David? What made you decide to take on this project,
Yeah,
which is not easy?
no.
What made you decide to do it?
Well, I've been teaching guitar for a long time now, and I've been teaching at the Wexford School of Music, and I recently started at the Carlow College of Music, and it really struck me how when I started teaching first, I used to do concerts myself quite a bit, and I think that helped sort of motivate my own students or open up people to the possibility of being able to play classical guitar. A lot of people mightn't have even known what classical guitar really was, you know.
Mm.
And there's a whole new generation of students coming through, and I haven't been performing as much as I used to, and especially since COVID. So it's been in the back of my mind for a while to try and do something like this, to try and expose people to guitar in general, all the styles, but especially classical guitar, and especially for my own students as well, just to kind of get exposed to some great players. So I wanted to get John down. We have literally the world's leading classical guitarist, Ana Vidovic from Croatia, playing on Sunday. And just for people to be inspired and to sort of see the guitar in different genres and different styles, but having the best people represented. That's kind of the main idea. And also selfishly for myself as well, just kind of wanted to put a bit of pressure on myself to get the practice up to scratch and get my playing better, and get used to playing in front of an audience again. So I used to do it a lot. I got to study in the States, and after that I got to travel around a lot. I played with the Dublin Guitar Quartet. We played all across Colombia. As a soloist, then I played across Europe and got a nice tour to
Wow.
Portugal and places like that. Yeah, I was kind of playing quite well at the time, but got busy with other things, and I just haven't been performing for a while. So yeah, great opportunity to kind of give myself a kick and get back into it. So
Well, it's a great idea because I know you were inspired by the piano festival in New Ross,
yeah,
and Kevin says it's hi Kevin. Kevin has joined us. One instrument I'd love to learn, the guitar. Yeah, I think a lot of people, and it's a Facebook user. I'm not sure who it is. It says, "Hi David, good to see you. Please give us your name, please."
yeah.
Yeah. So the festival itself, I know that you wanted to really make it cool and have international acts. So you got Anna Vidovic. And you have you're kicking it off with John, and he was your teacher, you said, which is really cool. Rachel, it's Rachel commenting. So Rachel, I
Okay,
don't know if you
Rachel.
know Rachel. Yeah, she
Yeah.
says it's so good to see you. Thank you, Rachel. But yeah, definitely. I know that you have a superstar coming as well, Matteo. Do you want to tell people about that?
Well, yeah. So I wanted to be careful about who we chose and not just go for big names for the sake of it. Matteo Mancuso is someone I just randomly found on YouTube about 18 months ago. I never heard of him before. What I was so impressed with was his clean, squeaky clean tone, and his technique is just out of this world. He actually started on classical guitar, and this is what's interesting to me and as a teacher and for my students. And he actually started on classical guitar, and he still uses the right-hand technique in classical guitar, which is fingers, no plectrum. And he's able to create incredible virtuosity on an electric guitar with this. So he has a classical background. He studied jazz as well, and by all accounts, he studied it very closely. A lot of people sometimes dabble in jazz and know little bits and try and fusion it with other elements, but he really seems to have studied jazz very, very closely. And he combines that with some rock elements too. So it's quite a mix of guitar styles, but he's just absolutely genuinely phenomenal. I think he's probably the best guitarist in the world right now.
Wow.
genuine. And I'm not the only one to think that. A lot of people are commenting on his videos like that, and some top guitarists like Steve Vai are saying he thinks he's the future of guitar.
Wow.
So I remember thinking, I'll ask if he'll come to New Ross and play, and sure, at least I'll know I asked, you know. But when they agreed to do it, I was over the moon. It's like Christmas for me. So
Brilliant.
he's
Brilliant.
just phenomenal. And then I was telling you before that one of my students got about grade 5 in classical guitar, and he wanted to switch to electric because it's cooler. So no problem. So we did that, but he maintained the same kind of right hand technique. And then when I told him about Matteo, you know, it's really inspired him even more to keep at it and keep playing in that style.
Ah, that's
Um,
lovely.
like there are plenty of guitarists that have played without a plectrum too, like Jeff Beck and Mark Knopfler and guys like that, and they're absolutely phenomenal. But I do think Matteo has just taken it to another level, and
And
yeah.
he has some tickets left for what date is he playing on? Hang on,
He's playing on
I'll get up here.
Saturday. He's playing on the Saturday the 13th in the theatre in New Ross, St. Michael's Theatre, and we still have tickets available for that. Tickets are selling well, I have to say, for the concert with myself and John. The church is going to look quite full. For the concert with Eamon Sweeney, who plays the period instruments in Kilmackie Gardens, we're nearly full there as well. And for Anna Vidovic's concert, there's only a few tickets left. Matteo, we still have a good few tickets we'd like to sell, but I'm hoping we'll get some walk-ins on the night too. And if anyone is listening, they should look him up on YouTube and just make a cup of tea, sit down 5 minutes, and you'll be blown away. And it's a great opportunity to get to hear someone like that live, because we're all, after COVID especially, getting probably too used to YouTube and streaming things and all that.
Yes.
But it's so different. Music live in person, like, we can forget the magic of it and how different it is and how it impacts you more in person than on the screen.
Oh,
So
we have a question actually from Kevin, who is on LinkedIn. What do you think of Xavier?
I don't know Xavier.
He must be. Oh, send us, Kevin. Send it to us.
Send me a link, because maybe next year he'll be here.
Exactly. And we actually had a query on Twitter as well last night. So Kevin, definitely message me later. I will send that on to David for you. I want to get into David's LinkedIn anyway. I've been pestering him to get into David's LinkedIn. But David, I'm just going to share my screen and show people the website so that they can show them how to book tickets. Okay, so we're just going to share our screen, folks, so that you can see the screen. And then you go to newrossguitarfestival.ie and you have all the different acts and the different locations. So you have St. Michael's Theatre for Matteo. You've Anna as well. So Matteo is Saturday, and then Sunday, and you just click book now. So you just click book now, and then it will bring you to the link to book your tickets. You just click book tickets now, and it will give you the auditorium. As you can see, there's a few spots dotted around there that are available there. But that's what you do. You go to newrossguitarfestival.ie. So then you can just click book your tickets, and you'll be able to book your tickets there. Definitely for anyone who is into the guitar, definitely you will be in for a treat. I know I'm going tomorrow night, so we're probably going to do a live stream. But David, I feel what you're doing here, and it's quite phenomenal. It's quite amazing, actually. This is your first ever New Ross Guitar Festival.
Yeah, first time doing it. I've learned a lot already. But I'm lucky, like, we've got a great committee, people very committed to it, really gotten behind it and rolling their sleeves up and really, you know, doing the hard work. So it's not just me, there's a team, and you know, and some people have been absolutely phenomenal to work with. So I'm very lucky. We've had great support. And I think, as you said, I was inspired by the New Ross Piano Festival. New Ross is a small town, but they were able to attract, you know, some of the finest pianists around Europe and develop a very loyal audience for it. And they get a great following. And sometimes the programs can be quite, there can be a lot of this sort of classical piano recitals, but sometimes very contemporary as well. It can be quite a heavy program. I like those, but you know, it just shows you there's an appetite for that kind of music out there. And I just thought, watching these events, that, you know, guitar is just so accessible for most people. A lot of homes that have a guitar even sitting around in the home, maybe not played, but it's there.
Yeah.
And the music, the guitar is just so, it can span so many different kind of genres, and it can fit into all sorts of different kind of sessions, whether it's trad, folk, you know, jazz, rock, blues, classical. It just covers everything. And I just thought, you know, there's probably a niche opportunity here to develop a guitar festival here. So.
And you're launching the New Ross Guitar Orchestra, is that right, as well?
Yeah, it's something I'd like to build on, for especially for next year. Is Guitar orchestra, it's hard to name it properly. I'm not too sure if that's the right name, but it's just a lot of guitarists getting together, different styles. It could be electric guitar, bass guitar, ukulele, classical, any kind of guitar you like. And what we would do is collectively get together and kind of agree on what kind of pieces we would choose, and we'd arrange it. I could do the bulk of the arrangement, but we could do it collaboratively as well, which is kind of enjoyable. And just think about what are our different influences, put it together, and play instrumental versions of different kinds of songs that are out there. I love the idea of doing some Metallica on just instrumental guitar. It's been done before, but we could find
the head right.
That's pretty good headband. Don't do that song.
I'd say lots of people are thinking, Metallica, yeah. But know, what you've done is amazing. So I just want to commend you on what you've done so far, and the fact that we're actually doing it tomorrow. And I know your stress levels are probably really high when you're organizing these events, but I do want to mention that there are young people that are going to be taking part in the orchestra, and are they playing with Anna on the night Anna is playing?
They're playing on the night that Anna's playing before Anna comes out. They're doing a very short piece. We've mixed ages. We've adults and we've kids.
Lovely.
So it's nice, and I like that. I mean, music transcends all the age stuff. It's good for young people to be around older people and be good mentors and good influence and things like that. So I think it's important to show that when you see someone like Anna Vidovic, even her, she had to start right at the basics and do the simple things first.
We put that video up actually of the young guy starting off on the guitar. Yeah, and then it's on Twitter, and I put it up on Twitter, and people were responding to that because it's like, this is how it begins, and this is how it ends.
So that's Rowan. He's a student of mine, and he only started last. I don't think it was even September. It might have been a bit later in the term, but he's just got such a joy for learning guitar and coming to lessons. He's a joy to teach. But that is where it starts,
But David, I know that you're very passionate about mental health in young people, and how the guitar and how music, even during the pandemic, that these kids would be practicing in their bedrooms or whatever, and the family benefited too by listening to the music. And I know it might seem a bit wishy-washy, but actually it's been such a challenge for people over the past few years. And I feel that this is a lovely opportunity for people to come together, join us at the events. They're kicking off tomorrow, and then the next day and Saturday and Sunday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. There's different venues for each act, but the first one is kicking off tomorrow night. So do you just want to let people know it's newrossguitarfestival.ie, but even if you can't attend, folks, you might know a friend that might want to go to something like this, or it could be a really cool date night. What time does it kick off at tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow night we start at 7:30 in the church. And you're right, we're doing different venues around New Ross. So a lot of times people would only be familiar with New Ross because they drive through it, And before we had the new road, you had to drive through New Ross to get to Cork or wherever you wanted to go. But there's loads of beautiful unique settings around New Ross. We have the Hook Lighthouse. We did the launch of the festival actually out there, and that was really cool. But we have JFK Arboretum Park here, which is not too far from the church. Kilmackie, where we're having Eamon Sweeney perform on Friday night.
That's lovely.
Beautiful
there.
manor there, yeah. And just there's actually tons of beautiful spots out here in the landscape.
So you're actually highlighting New Ross as well for people, and there are visitors coming from all over, aren't there, as well? Will you play a little tune, David, for us, please? Go on, just a little one. Go on. Yeah, thank you. Just a little one, just to give you a taste, folks, of what's in store tomorrow night. And what can you expect throughout the festival? David, just give us a little tune just to get us through lunchtime.
I'll just give you a quick little. At the launch, I played some of the very kind of well-known Spanish guitar pieces, like this kind of Leyenda. And say the Recuerdos de la Alhambra. So I've done those at the launch, and John is going to play some similar repertoire to that. I think he's going to play Leyenda as well, the full version. But I'm going to do something a little different to start the concert off with. I'm going to play a piece by a Russian composer named Nikita Koshkin. It's called the Usher Waltz, and it's interesting because he takes that waltz rhythmic character of, we're familiar with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. But he takes that and he really flips it on its head, and it's quite a contemporary piece. But it gets to show off a lot of the cool kind of sound effects as well of the classical guitar. So I'll give you a little sample of it, and then I'll sample some of the sound effects you'll hear. Okay, so. And later on, it gets a lot more kind of intense, and he uses big, strong percussive kind of power chords like this. And there's, we can do pizzicato on the guitar in different ways. We can kind of go with things like, but he uses a thing called Bartok pizzicato, which is even more aggressive, where you have to snap the string. So it sounds like this. And then some harmonics as well, like this.
I like that.
So it gets to kind of show off the guitar a little bit.
Brilliant.
In its full thing. And as I said, John will play a lot of the, we're going to do duet then as well, very Italian kind of classical repertoire duet, beautiful piece, full charm.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
But then John is the real kind of highlight of the night, and he's a phenomenal player. He was a teacher of mine for 5 years, and plays with great sensitivity, great phrasing. Sometimes there's great players who are very sort of tech, very virtuosic, and John has that, but he has an extra sensitivity in his playing that's just really intimate and beautiful to listen to. It's going to be a real treat. I can't wait to hear him play.
Yeah, me too. So that's tomorrow night. So folks, if you haven't booked your tickets yet, it is easier for us, the organizers, if you book your tickets today so we can know what numbers to expect. So it's newrossguitarfestival.ie, because you are in danger of not having a seat at all if you just walk in. Would I be right in saying that, David? Or
yeah, I would say that tomorrow's night concert is starting to fill up, and it's a bit risky. I think I wouldn't want to discourage anyone from coming to walk in, but it's a bit risky, I think. So because there would be people in the local area that might decide on night to go. So if you can book your tickets in advance, it's better,
it makes, and it's really easy to book them, folks. If you want to watch the replay of this, I show you how to book your tickets. It's New Ross Guitar Festival, and it's you're getting lots of lovely comments there, by the way. But that's from Rachel, I'd say. Thank you so much, Rachel. Have you anything you want to add before we say goodbye to everybody?
Look, as I say, I'd love people to hear John Feely. Eamon Sweeney's playing these Baroque instruments from the 1500s. I'm sorry, not just Baroque, but even back 1500s. And he's playing with a soprano named Roisin O'Grady, who has a beautiful voice, very authentic for that kind of period. Very different, very intimate. It's going to be in the Conservatory Room in the Kilmackie Country Manor, which is, you've been there recently, Sam. It's a beautiful location. And with the weather we're having,
nice.
It's really going to be good. So I picked the right weekend for New Ross.
You did.
So the sunny southeast really coming to the fore. But I have to say, if you were only going to go to one concert, I would encourage you to go see Matteo Mancuso, because he is legitimately unique, incredibly virtuosic. He's playing with a trio. He's got an amazing drummer and bass player, and the chemistry between these guys, they improvise, they just look at each other, things change. They don't even know sometimes what's going to happen next. It's that kind of live feel of music that we've missed, I think, for so long, that these are genuine, real, musicians. They're not just learning off.
They're the real deal. The real deal.
They don't know what's going to happen, but it's always brilliant. So I would encourage anyone to try and catch Matteo, because you won't forget that concert.
So it'd be a nice little date night, actually. And also, I'm going with Claire, my friend. But I was just thinking, even younger people who are thinking of learning an instrument, it might be nice for them to bring along a grandchild or a child with you. It could inspire them, especially if they see Matteo,
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's what I was saying. When I was younger, I got to see some great guitarists. I meant to see a band called Extreme and Betancourt, and I was quite young at the time. And I think I was only starting to learn the guitar. But when I saw him play live, I didn't even know if it was real. It was so good. I remember thinking, is that real? Maybe it's just kind of miming it or something, you know? It just seemed too good to be true. But it stays with you. I still remember that. And so I would like to think that there might be some young people that can go see Matteo and come away going, wow, you know, I really want to learn that instrument, or I got to follow him more and listen to this kind of music, be exposed to stuff, because we are kind of exposed to a lot of stuff that's on the radio only, and this kind of music is a bit different, and it's important to kind of broaden your awareness of different kind of players out there in different styles. And it's something I'd like to grow. I mean, I'd love the festival to become an annual thing and to make it even more encompassing of more styles and more workshops. You know, we have a masterclass with Anna Vidovic on Saturday in Kilmackie again, from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. That's free to observe. We have some players signed up to play for her, so she'll teach or them if you like, an audience, small audience. But so if anyone would like to catch, because she's really generous in her teaching, and I know she'll make a big impact on how they play and their enjoyment of it. You know? So.
Oh, that's lovely. Well done. Well done. And folks, thank you so much for tuning in. If you could share this for us, we'd be grateful. Share it maybe some friends, or tag some friends that might be interested in this. It's newrossguitarfestival.ie, and the very best of luck to you, David. The very best of luck to you.
Thanks everyone for listening.